Welcome back, everybody. This is Dear World Christian. This is our one and done series. I'm just going to record this video. There will be no editing. I'm just going to put it out there exactly like I get it done. So today we're going to call this Y'all Play Too Much. This is going to be under the Y'all Play Too Much title. I don't actually even know where to go with this. Let's just pull it up and let's see what am I talking about. Thank you so much for asking. All right. So we're going to make that, of course, a little bit bigger. All right. The Holier Than Thou Bible. PETA uses AI to write vegan version of the book of Genesis that sees Abraham befriend a lamb instead of sacrificing it and adopt a dog called Herbie. I'm actually embarrassed for these people at this point because this is ridiculous. But let us continue. In PETA's version of the creation story, as it has been named, animals are referred to as beings rather than beasts or creatures. Plants like hemp and bamboo replace mention of animal skins for clothing. And the group tells Daily Mail that the new version is proving to be popular among Gen Z. I really even don't know. I don't even know where to begin. I have no idea. Now, it might be an affront to the Christian church that if Gen Z is in fact buying into this, maybe that's part of the problem for us as Christians, as adults, as those who should have raised Gen Z with a little bit of sense that this is not acceptable. So let's go. And I'm sorry you can't get rid of all these ads. Man, Daily Mail is full of ads. Animals' Right Group, PETA, has used artificial intelligence to give the Bible's Book of Genesis a vegan-friendly update. People in the ethical treatment of animals, or rather people eating tasty animals, are selling the $3.99 tome written by ChatGPT, with animals now referred to as beings rather than beasts or creatures. Reference to the biblical figures in animal skin clothed have been nixed in favor of vegan-friendly attire made from hemp or bamboo. We're not going to even talk about the theological problems here because I think that goes without saying. It's almost like, where do you begin to call this foolishness? But let us continue. Biblical figures, Abraham befriends a lamb instead of slaughtering it as a sacrifice, and even adopts a dog with wife Sarah, with the creature given a modern sounding name, Herbie. The book can be downloaded from PETA's website and such like that. I have not found a copy of it. If I find a copy of it, we will give it the business. But this is ridiculous. Explaining their decision, people eating tasty animals said, in the new text, we include updated moral lessons and modern day applications fit for the 21st century. I think this right here, I would say, is actually the main problem. And I think we can blame this on modern pastors. We can blame it on modern church, whatever, that we've refused to help people see that we go back in time to understand the scriptures, not try to bring the scriptures forward in time to match our modern parlance. Because if we did that, then we already see that there's going to be a problem when we do that. And we've seen that. And here's the example. Let's continue. This interpretation reminds readers to treat every member of God's creation with love, kindness, and respect. Like, what do they do? I would love to know, what do they do with Noah's Ark? What do they do with that? What do they do with the covenant with Abraham? I really wanted somebody would send Dear World Christian a copy of this writing. I will absolutely give you a shout out. You'll get kudos from me, whatever. Buy me a coffee and whatever. I'm not going to spend my money on it, but I just can't. I would love to know what they do with Noah. What do they do with God's covenant with Abraham? If they're given like the first, I think they said the first 6 chapters of Genesis. I want to say, yeah, somebody send me the thing. dearwokec@gmail.com. Please send me a copy of this thing, please. All right, giving a flavor they add. The message of Genesis is that God created every sentient being. He saw that They were good, and he gave them greens for sustenance. Wow. That's making a God in your own image. That is making God in your own image. PETA President Ingrid Newkirk told DailyMail.com that the cruelty-free story of creation is appealing to Gen Z. We're hearing from a lot of young people and young Christians. No, you're not hearing from young Christians reporting that they love the new version because some of the older language, the language of the time, is hard to understand, and practice like animal sacrifice are reviled today. Nobody's asking you to sacrifice animals today, but let us continue. In PETA's version of the creation story, as it has been named, animals are referred to as beings rather than beasts and creatures. Plants like hemp and bamboo replace mentions of animal skin for clothing. Sorry about that. A further change is seen in Abraham's travel to the land of Moriah, and he befriends a gentle lamb instead of slaughtering a ram in religious sacrifice. Wow. Wow. Talk about missing the entire meaning of the text. Wow. The Bible has long been used to justify all forms of oppression, so we've used ChatGPT to make it clear that a loving God would never endorse exploitation of or cruelty to animals, Ms. Newkirk added. That's a God in your own image. First of all, you're stereotyping and straw manning God, and then you're doing something else with that straw man to justify creating a foolish narrative. Okay. It took God only 6 days to create the entire world, but we realized it would take us years to rewrite the whole Bible, which is why we've started with just the first book. A further amendment comes with Abraham and Sarah adopted a dog named Herbie. So they walked with Herbie. Sarah and Abraham thought of the importance of adopting dogs from shelters and rescue organizations rather than purchasing them from breeders. PETA's version reads, that is the dumbest thing I've heard in my life. That is so dumb. They spoke of how buying a dog or cat from a breeder or a pet shop contributes to the companion animal overpopulation crisis, as countless dogs and cats in shelters await loving homes, while breeders continue to produce more puppies and kittens for profit. Literally, that's what they put in Genesis. Wow. The revision has ruffled the feathers of some Christians and academics, such as Daryl Bach, senior research professor of New Testament studies at Dallas Theological Seminary. Speaking to the Christian Post, he said, "You can't rewrite the Bible by this kind of revisionism and then claim it to be a biblical sanction. To do so for your preferences undercuts what the Bible is and produces what is no longer a Bible. It produces a fraudulent claim of divine sanction, making God in our image," he added. I agree 100%, sir. And that's the end of it. Okay, goodness gracious. Yeah, that is here's a PETA tweet. Jesus would condemn the casual and constant torture and killing of animals. Really? This is PETA. I don't know. These people play too much. They really do. I have no idea why we put up with this kind of stuff, but that's what it is. So I appreciate y'all checking it out today. Thank you for stopping by. If you support me on Buy Me a Coffee, thank you so very much, because you make this possible. So I thank you for commenting and let me know what you think about this. Again, if somebody has a copy of this, dearwokesee@gmail.com, I would love to read this. I don't know what you want to call it, this fantasy novel. I'll read it on the air. I don't care. And we'll just talk about it. But thank you so much. I do deeply appreciate it. This is a one and done. So I'm just going to go ahead and drop this and upload it so you all will see it as soon as I get done with it. Thank you so much, everybody. Grace and peace. Take care.